All right. So if you think about what we did with long division when you were practicing it, you look to see. Just think about what you're doing here. Right? You look to see what goes into 2x cubed, correct? Because you want to cancel that out, okay? And so you figure out, okay, well, it's 2x squared. Well, the first thing is it's always 1 degree less than what you started with, correct? You guys notice that, right? It's always 1 degree less, because basically you're taking away a degree here when you're dividing, okay? So it's always 1 degree less. And really, this value, when you put in here, is what's going to cancel out, and that's what keeps getting it to go down. So, and we just use zeros there, so we know this is going to be x cubed, x cubed. We know it's going to match up perfectly, correct? So really, all that matters is what the numbers are in front. You guys agree with that? Okay. So there's a shortcut for synthetic division. I did these basic ones called synthetic division. All right, it's just a process. So follow me here. Okay? It deals with the fact that really all you care about is the coefficients. That's all. All right, so here's how it works. You're going to take whatever you're dividing by, and you're going to treat it like it's a zero. Like, what would be the zero of this? In other words, x plus 3 equals 0. What does x have to be for that to happen? X equals negative 3. Okay, and you're going to take this negative 3. You're going to put a little box up here in the corner. And then again, all we really care about are these coefficients here in front. If we're missing one, though, we still have to have a 0 like we do in long division, right? So the first coefficient is 2, and then we've got positive 3, and then we've got negative 4, and then we've got 15, and we're covered by, because it goes from cubed to squared to the first power to x to 0, so we've covered everything. I don't need any zeros. We're going to leave a space, and we're going to draw a line. And here's how it works. Anything that's below the line, I want to multiply by what's in the box. Okay? Any two things that's above the line, I want to add to get something below the line. Okay? So right now I have nothing below the line, correct? So this is technically really 2 plus 0, so what would go below the line? 2. Right? Then, anything that's below the line, the next step is to multiply. So I take negative 3 and I multiply it by 2, and I put it in the next spot, so negative 6. And now I got two things above the line, right? So what do I do with those? Add them, and I get negative 3. And now I've got a value below the line, so what do? Multiply, and I get positive 9. Now it's above, so what do? Add 5. Multiply, negative 15, add 0. Okay, so now watch. Look, if we had done this last night, we would have set this up 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x plus 15, right? And we got to figure out what we're going to multiply x by to get 2x cubed. And what's that going to be? 2x squared, right? So 2x squared would give me 2x cubed plus 6x squared. Agreed? We would then change the signs. Negative, negative. That would cancel for us, and this would become negative 3x squared. Bring down the minus 4x. What do I have to multiply by? To get negative 3x squared? Minus 3x. So there's my minus 3x squared. Minus 9x. Change my signs. That's going to give me 5x. Bring down my positive 15. What do I have to multiply by? Plus 5. Noticing anything? Doesn't it match up? Negative, negative, and remainder of 0. So what are these? Those are the coefficients sitting right here, correct? What is this? The remainder, right there. You got that? All right. I don't know which way you'd rather do it, but personally I'd rather do that. Less chance of making a mistake.
way is a lot easier.
Yeah.
So is there gonna be a quiz or a test that'll say solve it by the way at the bottom?
Yeah.
We'll do
Of
both.
course there is. I would have teach it to you, so we're gonna test you on it. Solve this by long division? It's like the homework. Now, if it doesn't say, and as we move on, right? As we move on and we're doing our polynomials and we get more into our polynomials, and you're just looking for zeros or whatever, you're gonna have the option, and you're gonna choose this, I would guess. Okay? But I'm not gonna say that on a test or quiz, we're not, just like we did on the other day. We made you do it by quadratic formula, we made you do it by completing a square. Alright? You need to know both techniques, but if you get to choose, because it doesn't specify, then you get to pick. Okay? That doesn't mean I don't have to know it. Yeah.
How do you know how to put that? Like, you just do one less
I don't know what you mean.
than. For 2x.
Oh, how to know for the answer? For the answer, I know because I'm dividing by an x to the first, which is all we're going to do. It's always going to be one less than whatever you do to start with. Okay, just like the long division, that's how I didn't know. Yep.
I forgot. Like, how do you get the -6 and the 9 and the -15?
Multiply.
Oh, okay.
Below the line is multiply. Okay, let me just write out my answer. Done. No, that's so we gotta write out the answer. Okay, so that's not the answer. That's just the coefficients to my answer, right? So my final answer is not having room. Okay. Do this. I'm looking for the answer to 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 15 over x plus 3 is equal to 2x squared minus 3x plus 5, remainder of nothing, so I don't need anything here. So this is my final answer, correct? That's the same answer I get when I do long division, right? Remainder of 0. None of that changes. Okay? Or in other words, we said, other ways to think, this is the answer that you want for this problem, but things that are going to help you down the line. Here's my original polynomial, 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x plus 15. How can I rewrite that? Even I did this to find this answer, but how can I rewrite that in a different format based off this information that I got? Uh-oh. Did it with long division the other day. How can I rewrite that in a different format? Yeah. What do you mean a cube is that? Oh no, I already did that. That's this.
Oh, okay.
The quotient.
You could
Quotient.
write that 2 multiples.
Right, it has 2 multiples, right? So what do you got? So this is the same thing as what times
X.
what?
2x squared minus 3x plus 5 times x plus 1. Parentheses.
Times what?
X plus 1.
Parentheses. Yeah. Everyone with her on that? Plus 0, which is your remainder, doesn't matter, right? So the other thing, the other piece that we talked about the other day is what can we call x plus 3 and 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 in relation to this? They are factors, correct? And why are they factors? And they don't have a remainder, correct? They go in evenly. Like the factors of 6 are 2 and 3 because they go in evenly. 4 is not a factor of 6, okay? Because it doesn't go in evenly, all right?
Can you do that when there's a remainder?
You can, yeah. You can. Say we're gonna get this is gonna be your remainder, whatever it is.
Okay.
Okay? Are we good so far? Try another one? Okay. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna go back to static division. What has to go in the box? -2. Put the -2 in the box. Coefficient, so what's my first coefficient? What's my second coefficient? 0. Why 0? There's no x squared, so I need a 0. What comes next? -7, and then I've got 6. So I needed that placeholder. It's the zero, you know how like in long division, we change everything, change all the signs, this is kinda taking care of changing all the signs, that's why we add down, okay? Alright, so now what's the first thing I need to do? There's nothing below the line, right? You gotta add, so either drop the one down or think of it as adding a zero on, right? And then what do I do with things that are below the line? Multiply. So -2. And then I add. And then I multiply. And then I add. And then I multiply. And then I add. So is x plus 2 a factor of x cubed minus 7x plus 6? No. Why is it not a factor? Because your remainder is not 0, it is what? 12, right? So this is my remainder. So I know it's not going in evenly, right? And that's okay, I still have an answer, but it's not a factor. Alright, so how do I write my answer here? I want x cubed minus 7x plus 6 divided by x plus 2 would be equal to what? What's my final answer then? X squared minus 2x minus 3. Good. Same thing we did with long division, correct? When we did long division, what did we do? We took our remainder and divided by our divisor. Okay, that's not changing. We're just getting the values by doing a different method. Yep. One more time? Not sure where you're looking.
To get like x squared
To know that it's x squared, I'm using these right here.
Yeah.
These are the coefficients.
No, I know the coefficients and then you get
It's starting with x cubed, it's gonna be x squared. Because I'm dividing by x to the first.
Yeah, but then wouldn't the second amendment?
It's gonna go right in order.
So it doesn't matter then,
E-
it's just.
Descending order, just like we have it set up. So just think long division, right? What happened? It went from square to x to value, right? Each time it went down 1 because you got rid of the previous term when you
So it
canceled
doesn't
out.
matter about
You have to have that place value, just like
so
we
you
had.
use the place, you use that.
That holds the
instead of-
place value, so this I know is my value. It's the same thing we did with long division, you know, when we put in the
Yeah.
0 and then we add down,
Yeah.
okay?
Yep. To like add on to that question, the, for like the second of the -7x, if it's 1 already, and you said to bring it down by 1, it's wouldn't, just like, cause the x part of the -7x just like not be there anymore.
I don't know. Where are you? These are just coefficients.
No, I get that, but the -7x, you know how you.
Here?
No,
No, I just don't know what you're saying, I just
I
don't
don't know how
understand.
to like.
Same question.
What, okay, ask the
Why
question.
is it x squared minus 2x if you divide by x and you would lose the x? So
Because
then
the
it's
x
just
has,
-2.
it's 1, like, you know, the exponent of x is.
Wait,
one.
I'm, no. You're dividing x plus 2 into all of this, right? But I'm just saying it's going down by 1 degree. Each thing's going down by a degree, like if I divide x cubed by x, let's just say it's monomial. If I divide x cubed by x, I'm to x squared, right? X cubed divided by x is x squared.
X divided by x, that would be.
Right, but I'm not really just dividing by x, I'm dividing by x plus 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a monomial, but it is gonna lower the degree that I start with. If I start with x cubed, I'm now gonna be at x squared, once I divide by that binomial. But it's not as simple as me just dividing an x out each time and being left with -7, because I'm not dividing by just x. If I was just dividing by x, that would be true, but then this would be 6 divided by x. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not just dividing by x, I'm dividing by x plus 2. I'm just trying to say that your degree is gonna go down by 1 because you're dividing by this binomial, that's a degree 1 binomial. Is that better?
Isn't the degree already 1, so if you, like.
So if you divide
You
a
went down by
cubed
one,
level,
zero.
if you divide a cubed degree equation, which is what this is a cubed degree, third degree equation. You always name an equation by its highest degree. So it is a third degree equation up there. That's getting divided by an equation that is a 1-degree equation. Are you okay with that vocab?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I divide a 3rd-degree equation by a 1-degree equation, it will always be a squared equation when I'm done dividing. Think of it as multiplying. Okay, look, no, listen, this will be better. Think of it as this. This is what this is equal to. What do you want this to be? If I know that I divided by this, then I have to multiply this by something to get that. It's gotta be an x squared. It's the only way I can get an x cubed. Think of it that way. Think of it as multiplication. Right? So it's gonna be 1 degree less, because if I multiply what I divided by times what I get, I have to get x cubed.
Well, x is already to the negative 7x is to the 1st degree, so if you're subtract, like, if you're taking out the degree less, then there's no.
You're not, okay, back up. I'm not dividing by x, I'm dividing by x plus 2. It's not just x. So you can't just jump here and be like, oh, x is gone. Because it's not, I'm not dividing by x, I'm dividing by x plus 2. Think of it as this, as multiplication. That, in terms of why it goes down a degree. Okay? Yes? Okay, I think that's like way more in depth than we need to be, but, okay. Questions on how we did this? All right, let's try another one. I'll let you guys do this one. What's going in the box? -2. And then just make sure you got all the things you need. I'm gonna first one. Yep.
So on the first one, you know how you wrote like 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 times x plus 3? You know,
That's not the answer to that problem. Oh, how can I write it? I can still write it.
Isn't that the answer though?
That's not the answer. That's not what they're asking for here. They're asking for the answer once you divide. That's just another version. That's just another version.
You can like only do that if there's.
No, not true. Okay, so we could rewrite this one also.
Oh,
So if I wanted to know what, that's a good thing to bring up, because that's kind of like, we're looking more for where it's factored, but I could say that 4a to the 4th plus 2a squared minus 4a plus 12 is the exact same thing. I'll get the same answer if I multiply a plus 2 times 4a to the 3rd minus 8a 8a squared plus 18a minus 40, and then if I add on 92, I will get the same answer. So if I double distribute here, so 4 times and then 4 times here, and combine all my like terms and add on 92, I will get this as an answer. So this is equivalent to that original. But the key is for us is when it's factorable, right, when it's a factor, it's gives you that nice clean factored form. Okay, because your remainder is 0. Other questions on this? Nothing? Okay, it's over. So can you do this one, please, like you would have last night by long division? Just, don't take a ton of room, just over here. Long division over here underneath it. Get your answer. Long division. Not synthetic. Long division. Anybody need more time? No. Good. Okay. What do we multiply 5x by to get 5x cubed? 3x squared. So 3x squared would give me 15x cubed minus 12x squared. Change the signs. Those cancel the way I want. This becomes 20x squared. Good so far? Bring down my minus 21x. What do I have to multiply by so that 5x becomes 20x squared plus 4x? So then I got 20x squared minus 16x. Change the signs. That becomes negative 5x plus 6. What do I multiply by? Negative 1. This becomes negative 5x plus 4, change your signs, get a positive 2 remainder. Are we okay with that? Am I good? See how it takes? Okay. So I know that my answer, 15x cubed plus 8x squared minus 21x plus 6 divided by 5x minus 4 is equal to 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 plus 2 over 5x minus 4. That's my final answer. Long division is my method. Or, in other words, 15x to the third plus 8x squared minus 21x plus 6 is equivalent to 5x minus 4 times 3x squared plus 4x minus 1, add on 2 more. And if I double check, the very first time I were to distribute, that would give me that 15x cubed, which is right here, correct? You feeling pretty good about it? Okay. Can we come over here and let's do it by synthetic? Alright, so what are we doing? What are we getting in the box? 4/5, right? We get 4/5 for the box. 5x minus 4 equals 0. 5x equals 4. X equals 4/5. 4/5 in the box. My coefficients are 15, 8, -21, and 6. Draw my line. Bring down my 15. Now, you can certainly go to your calculator, 4/5 times 15, but just think for a second. Put your calculation on and just think. It's really not that hard, right? Doesn't 5 divide in nicely into 15? What do you get? 3 times the 4 on top, what's it gonna be? 12. Really need a calculator, okay? Add down, I get 20. Does 5 go in nicely into 20? Yes, what do you get? 4 times the top 4? 16. So 4/5 of 20 is gonna be 16. Okay? Add down. -5. Does 5 divide in nicely into -5? Yes, what are you left with? -1 times 4. Remainder of 2. Oh, that matches up, right? What's my issue? These things are not matching up. Does that mean we can't use this? So what is the catch here? There is a catch in synthetic division that you have to remember to do, or you're going to be in trouble, correct? So what's the catch? I'm not going to change my remainder. My remainder is going to be good. But all of these need to be divided by what? Based off our answer over here. 5. By the value that is in front. If this is not a 1, right? If this coefficient that you're dividing by is not a 1, you're going to have to divide by that value at the end. Okay, but not your remainder. You're going to have to remember to do that. Okay? If you do not remember to do that, then synthetic's not going to be any good for you. Alright? So divide by 5, and then that gives me 3, 4, and -1 as my values. And then so my answer is this, right? 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 plus my remainder, which did not change, over 5x minus 4. So that's the one catch you've got with synthetic. Which you should quickly catch, because if you just quickly set up something like this, you would realize that 15 times 5 is not going to give you 15x cubed. Okay, and you should then be like, oh yeah.
How'd you do that to divide by 5?
Because of the value up here, if that's not a 1.
Okay.
Anytime you have a fraction that doesn't have a 1, you know, like when you're dividing, when it's -3, it's really like -3 over 1. So that's not going to impact it. So when this is anything but a 1,
Okay.
I divide by whatever's there. Not always divide by 5.
Yeah.
Divide by what is ever there. Okay, you guys do this last one. Go. And can you, yeah.
Is the number paired up with x if it's 5? Like,
Yes.
above it would be 5.
Above is 5. It's not always 5. For this one, it would be what?
3.
3. The other thing is make sure you've got all your degrees covered. Do we have all our degrees covered in this one?
No, we don't have
What are we missing? The whole number, right? The integer value or the x to the 0 value, right? So you're going to need a 0 on the end. You need a placeholder on the end. Okay? Before I forget again, I'm going to give you your midterm review stuff right now. You have it for over break. When we get back, I'm not going to before break, but if you have time, or I find a little bit of time, start looking at it. That'd be my suggestion, but I will start posting answers and stuff too. All right, questions? Anything on synthetic division? Okay, you got a few minutes to get your homework going. Did you say 44 or 41?
It's like, are you letting people come in during the
No, that's for my
So
bees.
tomorrow?
That's not AB. It's my seniors.
Oh,
So
it's
you
after
got to after school today, or you got tomorrow morning. That's all I got this week. Can I start taking the quiz? Yes. Yeah.
You're a teacher?
That looks like I'm teaching, Michael.
What do you guys do?
Taking a bonus quiz?
What do you guys do in my test yet?
Oh my god, I haven't opened it. I have algebra 2s to still review. Put up your hand on.
Can I take the bonus quiz tomorrow?
Yeah, I sent it.
What periods do you have free tomorrow? Doesn't matter.
Oh, can I, are you gonna say yours?
I love when people just like correct what time they wake up. And be like, yeah, I woke up at 7:27 today. After school, I'm not.
You don't have that early.
I'm not like talking about you. You know how people do that? Yeah.
I'm just saying.
What?
I see, like, I literally, yeah, it's the summer.
Ask Olivia, like, whenever we have sleepover.
I don't know why, it's like difficult.
Yes. Yep. We're doing a bonus. You can take a note. We give one this week, and then the 3 weeks we come back, it'll be like one you just take all four, you take one. It doesn't review it's like early September. So you can always give it a shot, let me know if you think it was.
Tried to take my phone and the charger.
Anytime from 10 to 7 until 7:30. Depending on the time you think you're in. You wanna take it?
Oh, well.
Yeah, me too.
You don't have my card.
I have my dean sitting here.
Yes, go all the way up. Yeah, all the way up. Yeah, in that row.
Me and my mom.
You guys take the grab the middle distance by them where you Alright, no talking. You guys all go by the door if you're not taking on this, so you're away from the other people that are up there. Alrighty.
Attention please, concert singers is canceled for today. Again, concert singers is canceled for today. Thank you.
Why don't you just come back over here? Oh, great.
under the holes.
Oh, this is.